Hi, I'm Luke Searveld. Welcome to another episode of Meet the Gaffer. Today we're going to take a first look at the Aputure Lightstorm 600c. You're familiar with the Lightstorm 600D, daylight only, the Lightstorm 600X, tunable white. This is the 600c. It's RGB WW, which means it has access to RGB, red, green, blue, as well as tunable white, with one W representing warm white and one W representing cool white. Tunable white means you can create different white points on the Kelvin scale, in this case between 2300 Kelvin and 10,000 Kelvin. But unlike most bicolor units, you can add green or magenta to that white point because the RGB emitters are right there and available to use. You're not restricted to using only warm or cool white emitters, which often gets you off the Planckian curve. Conversely, when you're creating a color from the color wheel, you now have the ability to change the underlying white point. The downside of having all this added capability is that compared to relatively the same wattage in a daylight-only unit, 600D, or a tunable white unit, 600X, the output of the 600C is significantly less overall. Not long ago, Aputure came out with another 600C, the Nova 600C, which is a panel light that is also RGB WW. This means we now have two units of similar wattage that have the same access to a broader range of color, a soft light and a hard light. And if you're thinking what I'm thinking we should compare them. I want to compare them for two things. For color rendition, are they easily compatible? And for how well they fill a given modifier. Let's start with the easy comparison. Here they are with a 3-foot Octa. Okay, so we have the Nova P600c using rabbit ears into a DOP choice 3-foot Octa with magic cloth. And then on the other side here, we have the Lightstorm 600c, and that's into another DOP choice 3-foot Octa and magic cloth, but using the rabbit rounder attachment to the unit. I've got them both at 13 points here on blackout. We're like at 2.8 on the lens and 500 ISO. So just in terms of output, I've got 18 foot candles to the Lightstorm and 15 foot candles to the Nova. Now there's a more even spread to the Nova, and that makes sense because you've got a translucent front, so it's sort of like an inner baffle almost before you get to the magic cloth. The Lightstorm is has more of a hot spot, so to speak, but it's still filling the 3 feet of fabric, but there's no inner baffle. So a little more output, quite similar in many regards. I don't know about you, but I found that pretty interesting. I'm sure you've heard that you can make a hard light soft, but you can't make a soft light hard. Now, panel manufacturers have made intensifiers available for quite some time, and Cream Source's Vortex units and Light Panel's Gemini hard units are doing their best to change the soft to hard rule. But I wanted to see how these two units compared, because on the face of it, the Lightstorm 600C seems like a more versatile unit. It can produce hard light through a cone intensifier, or a projection mount, or a Fresnel, but it can also produce soft light through any number of Bowens mount modifiers, or made either hard or soft aimed into a bounce or cinema reflector. However, I don't think it's fair to say this unit replaces the panel. There are many instances when panels are the right tool. It's just nice to know that now there's a companion, a hard single source unit. Okay, let's see how they sync up color-wise. So I have them ganged together here on blackout. Now just for yucks, let's change the saturation. So let's bring that to, 60, say. And then let's bring our hue to red. There we go. The light storm is looking much more saturated for some reason. But now let's just slide that hue slider and see if they match up. To eye, they're definitely looking like they're matching up. That's pretty good. Okay. That was interesting too. It's pretty clear to me that these will make good companions for each other. There's a lot more we could go into. The source mode is cool because you're shown the XY numbers below. So you know if you're close when you're trying to match existing fixtures out in the field. With a full color unit like this, you obviously have access to a greater number of preset Lee and Roscoe gels. And this may already be in their panel lights, but I'm intrigued by the music picker. I'm not sure how that works quite yet. Down the road, we'll want to compare RGB WW with RGB ACL. What are the strengths of each system? Are there differences worth worrying about? Or is it actually no big deal? Until I see it, I don't really know. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again next time. Here they are with 5-foot modifiers, one with an Octa and the other with a dome. That's quite an imposing display of 5-foot Octas. Now, yeah, okay. You know, this still looks pretty specular, but to eye, it looks pretty even. And then, yeah, this other one, definitely more even, but yes, you see sort of a little hot spot there as well. We put them both on, and you can kind of see that this has a sort of typical, you know, brightness around the edges and in the center, and then this is mostly in the center and just, you know, kind of filling it out. So yeah, that's two different things, you know, a dome and a 5-foot Octa. Now, if we go to a much brighter stop, so let's say we put both of these at full, and maybe we say this one at out, and we just take a measure reading there, 160 foot candles. And then this one at full, this one out, 170. Yeah. So anyway, you know, we're in the dark now. So of course, any light is plenty for what we're doing, and we're at a 2.8. So this is way blowing out. Let's just put that back at 13. And this one at out. So there, we're back where we were. And